Here are the top 5 biggest killers no one seems to be talking about. Here are the top 5 most brutal killers ripping the Gambia off of its bright future. These 5 self-destructive yet easily reversible things have been responsible for destroying the future of over 70% of the entire nation. Most shockingly, no one seems to be talking about them. In case you are waiting for me to mention the likes of corruption, bad leadership, or even inflation or lack of job opportunities, well, that's not going to happen. These top 5 biggest killers have been so widely portrayed, yet no one is talking about them despite causing major havoc in Gambian society. Be sure to stay till the end, as you will be left bewildered to find out how the port of Banjul had lost $1.2 billion in 2024 alone. Make sure you stay till the end. Celebratory mindset. The Gambia, despite its small size and rich cultural heritage, struggles with a paradoxical issue: a deeply ingrained celebration mindset that often hinders national progress. A surprising statistic by the United Nations reveals that the Gambia hosts over 400 festivals and public holidays annually, including national holidays, religious celebrations, and cultural festivals. While celebrations play an important role in fostering unity and preserving traditions, the excessive frequency of these events reduces productivity and diverts financial resources from critical areas such as education, healthcare, and key infrastructure developments. The impact of celebration mentality on education is particularly concerning. Studies indicate that school attendance drops by nearly 30% during peak festive seasons, as children and teachers alike participate in long, drawn-out celebrations. This contributes to the Gambia's already fragile education system, where literacy rates hover around 40%, one of the lowest, if not the lowest, in West Africa. The Gambia's celebration mindset stems from pretty much all spheres, from the government to the ordinary Gambians. While these events play a significant role in preserving traditions and fostering community spirit, concerns have been raised about the substantial financial resources allocated to such celebrations. For instance, reports from the NPP camp indicate that over $150 million, approximately $2.9 million, were planned for the country's Diamond Jubilee Independence celebration. Critics argue that these funds could be more effectively utilized to address pressing issues like rising food prices. This is how Gambia risks remaining stagnant, celebrating its past while sacrificing its future. The Gambia's excessive focus on useless celebrations is undeniably holding the country back. According to the ITC, Gambian households spend over 60% of the household income on fruitless celebrations. More and more Gambians focus too much on dishing out tens, if not hundreds of thousands, in mere celebrations. These celebrations include concerts such as Youssou N'Dour and Wally Seck, lavish naming ceremonies, weddings, and birthday parties. They don't mind spending huge sums of money just for a one-day event. A prime example is M'Balling Cham, who spent $500,000 on a Jaliba Kuyate program, and Nene Chayasin Cham, who also spent $300,000 on a Wally Seck program. This is how an average Gambian thinks. This is absolutely embarrassing to hear as a Gambian. Economically, the Gambia loses millions in productivity due to an overindulgence in festivities. A study by a local economic think tank estimated that the country experiences a 25% decrease in national productivity during major festive periods. Businesses slow down, government offices remain closed, and essential services are disrupted. This affects critical sectors such as agriculture and tourism, two of the Gambia's main economic pillars, leading to financial setbacks that take months to recover from. Myopic thinking. Gambians, like many societies, often struggle with myopic thinking, focusing on short-term gains while neglecting long-term consequences. This mindset manifests in various ways, from economic decisions to governance and social priorities of the ordinary Gambians. Many individuals prioritize immediate comfort, such as lavish celebrations and temporary financial relief, over sustainable investments like education and entrepreneurship. This short-term approach prevents many from breaking free from the poverty cycle, as resources are spent on fleeting pleasures instead of future security. According to the UNESCO report, over 60% of Gambians have short-sighted vision in terms of looking into their future, as they only see today instead of tomorrow. Shockingly, the report highlighted an overwhelming 80% of the youths do not know or have a clear trajectory or pathway to progression in life. This indeed is one of the biggest killers dragging the Gambian economy backwards. Not having a clear career pathway is as good as not having something to hold on to, which means zero contribution to the economy. A 2024 Afrobarometer survey revealed that 79% of Gambians believe the country is heading in the wrong direction, a significant increase from 29% in 2018. Additionally, only 17% rate the national economic condition as fairly good or very good, down from 58% in 2018. Again, this shows a lack of a clear pathway to robust national development, where the youths can be integrated. In this manner, their future is lost. Myopic thinking, seeing the present and not the future, also affects the government greatly. According to the United Nations, over 80% of the Gambian expenditure is geared towards fulfilling the nuance of the present instead of the future, with choking debt contingencies being a major player. This shows a heavy focus on the present rather than the future of the Gambia. With a tiny investment into its future, only God knows how much darkness the future of the Gambia holds unless a change happens swiftly. Clearly, resource efficiency has plagued the Gambia. According to the BTI Transformation Index, Gambia scores 27 out of 137 in resource efficiency, with more and more careless spending from the government level to the ordinary Gambians. Again, this shows the lack of clear sight for the future, as resource-efficient nations or individuals always find a way to work with what they have and build on it into the future. This is efficiency in dealing with what you have. Ungodly spending. Question: what is your spending pattern like? Do you spend when you need to, or do you spend because you feel like it? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below. The government's budgetary allocations further underscore concerns of fiscal imprudence. In the 2024 budget, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs received over $1.8 billion, marking a 69% increase from the previous year. This allocation surpasses the recurrent budget for the Ministry of Agriculture by $1 billion, raising questions about prioritization, especially in a country where agriculture plays a crucial role in livelihoods and food security. Another ungodly or wasteful spending was evident in the procurement of 89 brand new luxury vehicles just for a two-day event. Despite not being able to afford it, the government went ahead to purchase these top-end luxury vehicles for the OIC summit. An occasion that takes place in just 2 different simultaneous days. It's an absolute embarrassment to hear that this action was done by the government of the Gambia. Further to that, the Radisson Blue Banjul project that consumed $100 million is nowhere to be found, neither the hotel nor the money. Excessive expenditure on international travel has also drawn criticism. Despite a travel ban, the government planned to spend nearly $400 million on international travel and seminars in 2024. Such spending is particularly concerning given the nation's rising debt levels, with public debt exceeding 85% of GDP and debt interest charges increasing from $3.5 billion to $7.5 billion, surpassing combined allocations for health, education, and agriculture. The level of the citizens is even worse. Could you imagine the budget of an entire family gets blown into a one-day event in the name of wedding ceremonies and the likes? Wasting money on clothes despite knowing you already have a full wardrobe, or even spending hundreds of thousands of dalasis on a one-day event just like the 2 mentioned earlier. Shocking, right? This is a humble request to please show your support by liking this video and subscribing to the African Pacific YouTube channel, a Gambian-owned channel looking into the happenings of the motherland that are often ignored by mainstream media. Please show your support by liking and subscribing. Thank you so much. Zero respect for assets. In the Gambia, assets are generally not taken seriously to be something that gets you ahead. This is rampant on both the government level and the ordinary citizens. The government's main focus is liabilities, as 80% of the funds borrowed are geared towards infrastructural liabilities as per the World Bank. This means that despite the government's heavy foot on borrowing, it is highly unlikely for the government to be able to pay back the loans they have borrowed. The government prioritizes liabilities like road construction, which will not bring in money in the form of revenue to pay back the loan. This is what we call indebtedness, which ultimately leads to endemic poverty. This is what we are seeing in the Gambia. The financial performance of the Gambia's state-owned enterprises has been a subject of concern, reflecting broader challenges in the nation's economic management. In 2023, the collective net losses of state-owned enterprises amounted to $927 million, an improvement from the $1.5 billion loss recorded in 2022, yet still indicative of significant financial distress within the sector, as per the Ministry of Finance. The Port of Banjul is even the worst of them. The Port of Banjul made a whopping $1.3 billion gross profit in 2024 alone without anything to show for it except for just over $140 million. Out of the $1.3 billion revenue of the Port of Banjul, $1.2 billion is taken out as operational costs, as per the port's officials. Now, this is a very big concern for an underproductive port that has a proven track record of theft and incompetent services. With all honesty, we have not seen why the cost of running the Port of Banjul consumes a whopping $1.2 billion out of the $1.3 billion. Coming to the citizens, people live by what is trending. People would rather starve than miss out on the latest electronic gadgets and parties of some sort. If an average Gambian is asset-oriented, the level of poverty in the country wouldn't have reached its highest since independence. Yes, one might point fingers at the government, but if the truth were to be told, citizens are to be blamed as well. Gambians need to prioritize assets instead for their financial stability, instead of keeping up with the trends and useless parties like Wally Sek or Youssou N'Dour, and many more. Old leadership. Old leadership is a very big issue in the Gambia and the entire Africa by extension. In the Gambia alone, over 70% of the country's leadership positions are held by older people. Prioritizing age when it comes to leadership positions of any kind only spells disaster. The older people might be more life experienced, but this is just not enough. Leadership is all about bringing that sound energy and mental clarity to be able to get things done quickly and efficiently. This trait cannot be found in old people who end up building up massive stomachs once they come into leadership positions. This, in turn, makes them lazy, lethargic, and uninterested in getting jobs done. The two most important reasons why old leadership will only take the Gambia backwards can be found in Islam, where the Prophet said, "Peace be upon him." As people get old, their love for positions and money becomes even younger. We believe this is one of the reasons why the Gambia is filled with all forms of theft of public funds and power grabs. So, say no to old leadership. This is a humble request to please like this video and subscribe to the African Pacific YouTube channel. Thank you so much.